A new D1 women's soccer poll has been released, and it goes as follows. This is going to the United Soccer Coaches poll. And the usual suspects are the same top five as last week: North Carolina, Florida State, Stanford, Penn State, and UCLA. Number 6 is Arkansas, but tied at 7th, Texas Tech and BYU. What's funny is those two teams are going to play each other, and I'll get into that in a second. But somebody has to be clearly number 7. One of them has to be clearly number 8. And I think at this point you should put Texas Tech ahead of BYU because of the record. You could say that because Texas Tech has not lost this year, unlike BYU. And they also, both of them have ties, and conference record-wise, BYU is worse than Texas Tech too. But that's besides the point. Clemson, Memphis round out the top 10 by 11 through 25. Are Notre Dame, Georgetown, South Carolina, Michigan, USC as in University of Southern California, Santa Clara, Wake Forest, Kentucky, who was not even receiving votes, to now ranked. Alabama, Wisconsin, they were not even ranked as well. Brown, they're now ranked. They're not even receiving votes last week, as well as Wisconsin. Duke went down to number 22. Man, they're really reeling here. TCU's now back. They were not even ranked last week. St. Louis is now ranked at number 24. They were receiving votes last week, and Colorado's receiving votes last week, and now they're number 25. Now, some receiving vote teams are Indiana with 14, Oklahoma State with 13, Pitt with 8, Xavier with 8, Georgia with 3, Georgia Texas with 2, Gonzaga 2, Michigan State with 1. Now I'm going to also go over like the RPI, and it's games up to the first, though it doesn't include include like BYU playing yesterday or anything like that. Just keep that in mind. And it's not shocking on the top 10 is Penn State, North Carolina, Florida State, Stanford, UCLA, Arkansas, Notre Dame, Texas Tech, BYU, and USC. And those do affect the NCAA tournament seedings because they could potentially host up to like the Final Four, up to like the Elite 8 site. If you get to that point, if you continue winning all your games, you could potentially play for the Elite 8 match on Thanksgiving, because there's just first round match, and then there's round of 32 and Sweet 16 match. Then you go to Elite 8, and then the Final Four site. Depending on the team who's hosting, I don't know if any of those teams, like the host site for this year, is going to really host, but you get the point. It does matter, and it also matters for those bubble teams, which I'm just going to put broadly, like 40 through 60, you got to keep an eye on. Iowa, Washington State, Arizona State, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, Harvard, Liberty, James Madison, Dayton, LSU, Dartmouth, California, Providence, Missouri, Rutgers, Loyola, Maryland, Butler, Vanderbilt, SMU, Colorado, and Wake Forest. I just named some. And some of these teams are in one bid leagues anyway, so you have to win your conference anyway. But either regular season, if you don't have a conference tournament, but if you have a conference tournament, it will definitely help to win that. You gotta avoid bad losses at all costs, and as well as win all the games you can. And I'm telling the truth. It really would help yourself on that. And believe it or not, even though Texas is in the top 25 and all, top 25. Yeah, Texas is not even ranked right now, and their RPI is number 71. Oof. Yeah, that's not a good sign for Texas. It really isn't, because now they could miss the tournament potentially. So yeah, and all these other teams outside like number 60, you gotta have to win your conference tournament just to get in. And even for team like for the Big 12, for example, I know this for a fact because it's a Big 12 thing. Only the top 10 teams get into the Big 12, and there's 14 teams. So yeah, that's the only shot you're gonna have. Now I'm going to go over my top 10 for Division I women's soccer as well as teams outside looking in. In addition, the top 25 games to keep an eye on: North Carolina, Stanford, Florida State, UCLA, Penn State, Arkansas, Texas Tech, BYU, Clemson, Memphis are the top 10. Teams outside looking in are like Notre Dame, Michigan, South Carolina, USC, and Michigan. Wait a minute, I put Michigan there on there twice. My bad, but you get the point on. That's just naming some teams on there. Oh, Georgetown, yeah, that's on. That's one of the teams outside looking at. So just the correction there, but you get the point, y'all. Those are just in case if you win those your games and other teams in front lose, you can move up potentially to be in the top 10 here. Now there's only 4 top 25 games this week. Number 7 Texas Tech at number 7 BYU. Number 3 Stanford at number 25 Colorado. Number 1 North Carolina at number 22 Duke. Number 23 TCU at number 7 Texas Tech. So Texas Tech has a hard slate this week, but anything can happen, and look, upsets do happen, not just ranked versus ranked, but ranked versus unranked as well, because if you go back and see the results, there was some between now and then. It's just some games to keep an eye on between now and then. Anyways, if you like this content, like and subscribe, and see you guys later. We're on the road to 600 subscribers now. Of course, the ultimate goal is to get up to like 1,000 so we can make stuff happen. And please comment and like the video because it does help the algorithm so more people could see it, and then more people potentially subscribe down the line. I'm just saying that because it does affect the how many subscribers you could get down the line too. So that's all I wanted to say, and have a great day.